Hey guys, good morning. So we just pulled up a few minutes ago and really just looking at what's left over of this structure in the nearby home that the fire also spread to. You can tell just the intensity of how hot this was and how aggressive these flames were earlier this morning. I'll step out so you can see what we are looking at right now. Just taking a look at the surroundings here, not only at that charred structure, but even just taking a look at the power lines. That street sign that you can clearly see is melted, and also some of the cars that were parked alongside the road, a lot of that was affected as well, and some of the paint jobs on there, you can even tell, were melted. So take a look at what this looked like earlier. At about 2:38 a.m., that is when the first 911 calls came in to Seattle Fire at 911 reporting that this fire was at an apartment building that was under construction. Now, this is the 3300 block here of Claremont Avenue South in the Columbia City neighborhood. When crews first arrived, they said that they saw flames that were spreading through the entire structure. That was the apartment building that is under construction. That ended up leading them to upgrading this incident to what's called a 2-alarm fire, essentially meaning that there were more than 70 firefighters here on scene battling these flames, about 8 fire engines and 6 ladder trucks. Now, according to Seattle Fire, as you can already tell, that fire did extend to the home that is immediately north from that construction site, as well as, again, those several cars that were parked just across the street. There were also utility poles that were damaged that led to these power lines to also fall onto the street. That is why they had to shut off the power, and that is why Seattle Public Utilities is still here at the site. Now, because of that intense heat and the down power lines, they were in a more defensive position by pouring water onto those buildings. Now, the person who was living in that home that was just next to the construction site, they were able to escape the fire, while additional crews were evacuating the homes nearby, as well as the apartment buildings that are nearby this site. Now, firefighters actually got this under control pretty quickly, relatively speaking, in less than 1 hour, given how intense those flames were. Again, Seattle City Light was able to shut off the electricity to that construction site and secure all of the utility poles and also the down power lines as well. Now, the person who lived in that home, they are still displaced, but other people in the neighborhood, they were able to return to their homes. Now, an adult woman was evaluated on scene, and that was because of exposure to the smoke. However, she is okay. She is in stable condition. The smoke has settled pretty much for this morning. However, earlier, they were telling residents that they should keep their windows and doors closed just because of how much smoke there was. They are going to continue to stay here, Seattle Fire, to monitor any flare-ups that could happen, monitor any of those hot spots. The cause is still under investigation. We're live in Seattle this morning. I'm Pete Torres, Fox 13 News.